Well, hello there, I'm Kevin V.
And I'm Tubby G.
And welcome to Randime. So today we watched Momo Kyun Sword. And I have to say, first impression, this just kind of feels like a Sailor Moon, but with more perversion to it.
Sailor Moon met rated XXX.
More like sex XXX.
Yeah.
So what this anime is mostly about is a girl that came from a peach
Literally.
called Momoko. She came from a peach to this village, and then we just see her training around with a sword. Don't know how exactly is explained, but she hangs around with 3 animal gods.
We have Inugami, Sarugami, Kijigami.
So she has these gods and these animal people, friends, or whatever, who help her out with her sword skills, I guess, because she's just training with a wooden sword for some reason or another. And while she's doing that, we cut to around, I guess, we get to meet the next main group of a faction of this story, which is the Celestial Maidens who live in this world called the Heavenly World. Ringo, the Maiden of Fire. Sukiya, who is the Maiden of Water. Karen, who is the Maiden of Wind. Marin, who is the Maiden of Earth. So they each have elements to them, and guess they have some weird abilities or something.
It's your basic 4 earthly abilities.
Yeah, with them. And I guess the whole point right now of the story is that the rival faction group to this, an evil group, the antagonist group called the Oni, are, I guess, goblin-like creatures. They're after these things called the Peach Fragments. So they're after them for more power.
We haven't quite figured out the whole
reason or what they do exactly, but they're after them.
Yeah.
And so, for the first episode, we do meet of this peach girl, of Momoko, and she's training with a sword. She's doing her thing with that, and then the Oni attack her village for this fragment.
We meet the first of the 4 generals of the Oni, and that's Tekai. Momoko challenges him, gets her ass kicked. Then she does this thing called Possession Fusion, where she fuses with one of these gods, her 3 friends she hangs out with. And for this one, she fused with Inugami, the dog god, and became faster than wind. Got a cool, what's the name of that blade she was using?
I think it was a halberd, that's what I call it. Yeah.
And she ended up kicking his ass.
Yeah, she got some power up. But of course, with this power up, it's kind of like breaking the mold of like first discovering your power thing of anime. Instead of like fainting of whatever, she at first could never do these transformations. She never could do them. But then she could at that point. But by the ending, it's comical that she can't anymore, and like just an explosion, like poof, happens. They split. The fucking dog god is knocked the fuck out, and she is ripped up in clothing and super
freaking
embarrassed.
out that she's naked, like.
So within the second episode, it's kind of similar as the first. The Oni are after the peach fragment, but in the beginning of the episode, you don't generally have that happen yet, as they're just roaming around the village looking for the peach fragment, and then eventually Momoko is meet up with, sort of in disguise at first, Onihime, the princess of the Oni, who wanted to go to the Earth Realm. She had never been there before, and so she was trying to convince John Key to send her there with him, and eventually I guess she somehow convinces him, because they do so, and so she's sort of in a cloak and whatnot. And so Momoko meets her, without even knowing who she really is and whatnot, because of a food sort of eating contest battle. There's one dumpling kebab thing left or whatever, and they both want it. And so they have a peach dumpling eating contest, an impromptu one, and face each other that way, which was pretty comical and very interesting. They both tie at like 200 apiece, and how could you eat that much though? Like, I just don't really understand it as much, because it's like I'm gonna have an eating contest for something that's just a small little item of food.
Yeah, I'm a big guy and I love eating contests. No way would I do that one.
Yeah, I don't
think I could eat 200.
It was comical though.
Yeah.
And then the Anya later come back, the princess and Jonki sort of as themselves, out of disguise, even though they're just wearing cloaks really. except for he was wearing a hat. They come back for the fragment, and then Momoko recognizes Onihime, and they battle it out. And again, Momoko sort of getting her ass kicked in the fight against Onihime. She transforms again.
With the monkey god this time, Sarugami.
Different. This time, her hair goes blonde this time, and then she gets... The thing I didn't understand was the claws with the...
It's like, they were like Wolverine claws.
They were like Wolverine claws, but she was with the monkey, and I just... Wolf or the dog one, I can maybe make sense of the claws, but this one was like... So for this anime, I will give it a 4 out of 6, because of the plot in that is pretty interesting. And I am a sucker for fusion. I always like the whole make 2 characters in one type of deal and whatnot. So I'm always a sucker for that. But overall, the over-sexualization I'm okay with and I like, but at the same time, it seems a bit too corny for my kind of taste in that sort of action genre of anime for me. How do you?
I'm going to give it a 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6. I'm not going to give it the total of what I did with Rio and 6 out of 6. Because I haven't watched it to the end. Right now, from the first 2 episodes we watched, it's going to be 5 out of 6. The over-sexualization. The fusion thing's really cool. I like the plot. And I'm probably going to continue watching it for probably some more episodes unless it dies down. I'm probably going to continue watching it.
And that's our thoughts on Momo Kyun Sword. If you liked it at all and seen it, then comment down below, or even just give us a suggestion for a Randime in the future down below. You also make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you guys next video.